been to France.
Because they've had such intense fame so quickly, suddenly all these different systems will be set in place, different people will be in charge of them, and they probably like to think that they're pretty much in charge of their own future, their own universe. That will not happen.
They've got a lot of growing up to do and they're going to do it in the public eye, so it's important to get that real support.
A strong support system is vital. One of the problems is that that will sometimes go to people's heads, that they're surrounded by people that are saying you're great, you're wonderful, you're fabulous, you're the best thing. Well, that can be a problem.
If you're surrounded by yes people, I don't think you'll progress as much as you can do or have the potential to.
The family would be a great support system, but so can the other band, because in a way they're the only ones that have gone through the entire experience and they don't need to keep explaining it to one another.
They're like brothers, and the fact that they did form themselves and they do have a history and they're from the same place, you know, they've got similar backgrounds, I think all that really helps with that bond.
As a band, I think it can often be better than sometimes the individual stars who nobody else gets them really. These guys will all get one another, and I think that can act as a great support.
They've credited their upbringing in Australia is sort of keeping them quite grounded. They've got a good team around them.
What? What? Yo, what type of dog am I?
A Dalmatian.
Being with the same sort of team the whole time and they've been together, then you keep yourself grounded because you're all progressing together.
The big thing that they need to do, and only they can do it, is to really cherish those friendships.
A poodle!
Even if they argue, even if they fight, that's such a tight unit that they do need for their own support.
I do this. Creepy guy in the corner.
Yuck, you got the finger. You're the worst guy.
That's the worst guy ever. That only happens when I'm like really...
Callum Salsus.
having fun. I've drunk a lot of corn.
If the party's picked up by really, the finger at the end is just to the beat.
They're living everyone's dream. Anyone who's in music wants to be what they're doing.
Who wouldn't want to be on stage and having adulation from fans around the world? It's amazing to be like in a band, travelling the world, performing in front of thousands of people. You get free dinner. The record label pays for your dinner, which is always great.
Guys, are you enjoying it?
By 2012, 5 Seconds of Summer had gained a strong social media following. Despite having no formal promotion, they scored a publishing deal and reached number 3 on the iTunes chart in Australia with their first EP, Unplugged. The band hit a new stratosphere when a couple of the 1D guys tweeted in support of them and posted links to their videos.
I got like a lot of stuff from just like watching afar, just like how they like treated their crew so well. But yeah, just how like they treat their crew and how they're so professional is like it's really crazy.
Yeah,
their work ethic.
There was a good few years of them working together as a band before they supported One Direction on tour and everything kind of exploded.
Before they were famous, before they even had a record label, they did everything that an independent record label would do, but they did it all for themselves, which is very weird, and very few young bands do this.
What is so genius about them and so clever is that they created themselves through social media.
They started on YouTube just doing covers amongst themselves, I think, and then just picked up a bit of attention.
That was kind of how they got their first following.
They had a YouTube channel in 2011 and now everyone's talking about them.
The big break came in February 2013 when 5 Sauce were invited to open arena concerts for One Direction. Those performances would catapult the group to a popularity they once only dreamed of, giving them a worldwide platform and built-in fan base.
They were working hard for a few years before the big call came from One Direction.
If you get support of the likes of Louis and Niall from One Direction, it definitely helped them.
One Direction have been key in their explosion. Not popularity, but recognition.
One Direction tweeted about them.
It all started when Louis Tomlinson tweeted a link to one of their YouTube videos saying that he'd been a fan of them for a while.
The 1D guys just saw that and just thought, I like these guys.
Yeah, it was wicked.
And then Niall tweeted a link to their first music video, which was from one of their EPs for Out of My Limit, which is a brilliant song.
If it wasn't for One Direction tweeting about the band, they would have never secured success outside of Australia.
And the fact that they supported One Direction, their fans are obviously caught onto them, and everyone else around the world, so they're doing something right, aren't they?
The guys were snapped up with an international recording deal and now share the same management team as One Direction.
You always have grand plans for anyone you sign, but it has to come from them. And it started with making the best possible record. So you've got to thank the songwriters, the producers, but it all just came together at the right time.
I think that's what we like about them as a band, is their characters they're real people.
Yeah.
I think they were massive supporters. They were massive supporters of us. Like on the tour, like they were backstage, they were always like watching us on stage, and they were like, you know, being nice to us.
Yeah,
good dudes.
We've been here 3 years now.
When One Direction and 5 Seconds of Summer met for the first time, all 9 of them were in the same room together. It was very awkward for the first time that they met. The 5 Seconds of Summer hadn't met many English boys before, and One Direction spoke very quickly in all their sort of different accents. 5 Seconds of Summer, all the members weren't quite sure what they were saying, and then One Direction were unable to understand what these 4 Australian boys were saying either, so it ended up being this massive gibberish.
Yeah, it was quite interesting. I think we said before when we finished the gig, like,
They bonded over pizza and PlayStation. Yeah, the first meeting was very awkward.
5 Seconds of Summer are One Direction fans. They're always tweeting about how much they love their songs. They do genuinely seem to all get on really, really well.
Great lads. Great lads.
Lots of people.
Great hair. Lots of people.
Lots of people.
Terrific live experience for us.
I think they're all larrikins.
I think
they're all pretty.
I'm sorry, what did you say? They're pretty comedic dudes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop using weird words.
They all crack great jokes though. Like, and sometimes I usually can't help but laugh at everything that else says.
It's just
like
just the way he says it.
Do you know who's an underrated funny guy in 1D? Louis.
No, he's not underrated. Everyone knows he's hilarious.
Yeah,
I find
Zane's so hilarious.
Yeah, what did he say that one time? He said that one time, I've been on a tour with them for a year. He said something one day that was just the funniest.
Jamie Oliver?
Yeah, what was it? I don't know, I don't remember.
We always have that hardcore section of fans who supported them from the YouTube days, but when they supported One Direction, that's when we really sort of started to sit up and take notice.
There is a certain amount of snobbery that they haven't done little tours in the back of their van, but I'm sure they don't care when they're playing to thousands and thousands of people, having taken these opportunities, supporting the likes of One Direction that may not be cool, but is a great way for people to hear their music en masse.
I still think they would have become popular, and I still think they would have become as successful as they are now, but it would have been a slower process. There wouldn't have been that kind of skyrocketing of recognition and fame.
Louis is great at football.
Yeah,
he's so good at football.
So is Harry. Harry was good.
Yeah, actually, they're all really good.
They're all just very good at football.
Just better than us.
Yeah.
But they do have very scary security codes.
Yeah,
they're quite hefty.
Yeah, not as big as us, but
hefty, man.
As big as you look.
Unbeaten.
5 Seconds of Summer proved they were a force to be reckoned with when their breakout smash hit, She Looks So Perfect, exploded onto the mainstream. The single smashed the iTunes chart in 39 countries on pre-orders alone. The accompanying music video racked up more than 5 million views in just 3 weeks.